Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's, what are we doing?
Rowdy.com video.
Rowdy.com video. We're talking about the race teams that we observed and met at the NASCAR Media Tour in 2011.
Yeah, and the very first event of the Media Tour was the Earnhardt Ganassi Racing lunch. Did they give us lunch at that event?
They did give us lunch
Did
at that
Chip
event.
spring for lunch?
He absolutely did.
That's right. It was at the hotel. And that was the first event of the Media Tour. And they certainly seemed to be confident heading into 2011.
You know, they talked a lot about all the things they'd accomplished in 2010. And certainly one thing they accomplished was a lot of speed exhibited on the racetrack. 4 wins between those two drivers, 7 poles, I think it was. Of course, Jamie won the Brickyard. He won the Daytona 500. He won at Charlotte. Juan won at the road course at Watkins Glen. They were very fast at other races, but they obviously need consistency. The thing that struck me, though, was the confidence that you saw from Jamie McMurray. And the story was, hey, you know, it was great to win Daytona. It was great to win the Brickyard, but almost the best thing was walking into Victory Lane or walking into the media center at Charlotte, and everybody wasn't surprised. Everyone was like, oh, hey, it's Jamie.
Yeah. Like, it was expected that Jamie would have been the winner at Charlotte.
Not a surprise.
It certainly wasn't. And we were there in that media center when he walked in, and it was quite a moment. Now, I asked Brian Patty, Juan Pablo Montoya's crew chief, about the difference between Juan Pablo in 2009 when he made the chase and 2010, and if Brian Patty thought perhaps JP might have been pushing a little too hard in 2010 as opposed to being conscious of points. Here's what he said.
Yeah, probably maybe a little more reckless than we were in 09. We had a plan in 09, 010. We had a plan, but it got shot to heck second race of the year when we blew up in Fontana. So I say if we have the pace we had in 2010 and the plan we had in 09, we'll be just fine.
This team, it's all about consistency for them. I mean, the point system rewards consistency. It's going to reward consistency in 2011, even more in 2011 than it did last year. If you have the speed, you have to avoid the bad finishes that cost you 20 or 30 points in this new system. So that's what they've got to do. And if they do that and they still have the speed, both these drivers can make the chase.
You think, are you calling that? Are you calling both guys in the chase?
I'm going to call like 20 guys in the chase. I mean, I was impressed with every team. The thing I love about this time of year, Cutler, is that there's reason for every team to hope. And there's reason for every fan to look at their favorite driver and their favorite team and say, that guy can make the chase. And you can do it with each and every one. And certainly Juan Pablo Montoya and Jamie McMurray, if you look at the speed that they displayed on the racetrack, go look at the loop data statistics. Yeah. Those guys were fast. They just had too many bad finishes.
Well, and in Juan Pablo's, to Juan Pablo's credit, he had a couple of DNFs early on, a couple of really bad luck races early on, and that put him behind the 8 ball, which perhaps is why he started pushing, unlike the patience.
They cannot put themselves in bad situations on the racetrack. They have to be more calculating.
Now, I'm not going to call them both in the chase, but I am going to call an oval victory for Juan Pablo in 2011. I know we say that pretty much every year, but this year's the year.
Well, I'm calling them both in the chase, and as I say, when we get to the end of our series of videos on these race teams, I will have about 20 guys in the chase, easily.
We have to wait and see if Jamie McMurray's 2010 season was an anomaly, or is that his new norm? And I don't think we know yet.
Well,
his career has been so up and down that I think we need to see a couple of seasons like that.
Except for the fact, Cutler, that it's not an anomaly when you look at his performance with Chip Ganassi as an owner. It fits right into the pattern. He finished about where he finished with Chip as an owner before in terms of where he finished relative to the playoffs. So I think, I'm not saying Jamie won't have a down year. It certainly is possible. But this is a team to watch, definitely.
All right. That's our take on Earnhardt Ganassi after the media tour. And we'll be back to talk about each place we visited on the media tour. Next up will be Stuart Haas Racing.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.